Okay, you've got your degrees. Now, one thing I may not have stressed enough or at all is the following. When I have got a triangle here, and I'm going to suggest 17 degrees here, and I got 34, and I've got X. All right, from yesterday, you know that they're suggesting you pick this angle, so they suggest you pick this angle. There's nothing important about this in our world, but here this is important. That's nearby, that's the adjacent, and always across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. Always across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. And then we have to think adjacent hypotenuse. I think we've done this enough that you all know that that's cosine. So we write cosine of 17 degrees equals opposite over adjacent, 34 over x. Now, either I didn't say this at all or I said it very briefly, so I want to say this again. There's a little bit of a trick when there's an x on the bottom, and it's a very little trick. It's not a hard trick at all. If the x is on the bottom, just do this. Put a little fraction of a 1. I mean, it's always there, but just put it so you see it. And you all remember the term cross products. You all remember the term cross product. We're going to do that. We're going to take x times 17, cross products, x times cosine 17, sorry about that, equals cross products 1 times 34. All right? That's cross product. That's no big deal. And then your whole mathematical life, your boring teachers have said find x. So we divide by cosine of 17. We divide by cosine of 17 and type it into our calculator and you'll have a successful answer. So that's going to come up a time or two today where the variable is on the bottom. All right. So today we are going to treat you like a little more of a independent learner. And it's going to use just things we've known before, and it's called solve the triangle. And there's not much more to it than what we did yesterday. It simply is to find all the sides and all the angles. Yesterday you found one of the sides or one of the angles. Now we just need them all. Well, the first thing that is pretty easy, if you know one of the angles, the other one's really easy. How many degrees in every triangle, former geometry students? 180. 180. Go 180 minus 90 minus 64. You're going to find out that that is 26 degrees. So once you have one of the angles plus the 90, finding the other one is easy. Another thing that I said we said stuff we already know is something by a Greek person named Ted Pythagoras. I'm not convinced his first name was Ted, but I'm pretty sure his last name was Pythagoras, and he invented a Pythagorean theorem which said a squared plus b squared equals, and that is in any right triangle, any triangle where we have a 90-degree angle. So we're going to use SOHCAHTOA and Pythagoras, and we will find all the sides and all the angles. So 2 examples will be done, and this example is going to be right here. I'm going to have this as 80, and this is 67 degrees. And that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you is we have the 80 and we have the 67 degrees. Well, it's up to you to decide what to find next. You could find this side if that's what you want to do. Free will. Or you could find this one if you want to. Free will. Or you could find the angle if you want to. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to find this side right here. I'm going to call that side Y. And I'm going to pick this angle. You could have found that one. You could have picked that angle. There's all sorts of things you could have done that are correct. All right, well, now that I've made this choice, this is adjacent, that is hypotenuse, I'm going to do the cosine. So I'm going to do the cosine of 67 degrees equals the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And I believe all of us who participated know that easily we are just going to make sure we're still in degrees, which I am. I'm going the cosine of 67 degrees, and I'm going to take that times 80, and I'm going to get to the nearest tenths, 31.3. Say that's what I got.
That's what I got.
Cool. Now you've got free will. You've got free will. You could choose the following. You could go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You sure could. That would be great. Or you could say, I love trig. I love trig so much that I'm going to use trig to find this. And I could do sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I could do, like call that x. I could go sine of 67 equals x over 80. That would be a great way to do it. Or I could do x squared plus 31.3 squared equals 80 squared. I could do either way. You might not do the way I did in my answer key. You might. I'm going to do the sine. I could have done the other. I'm doing the sine of 67, taking that times 80, and it's about 73.6.
We're done.
And there's 180 degrees in the triangle.
23.
23. So you can go about it in many different ways. Oh, I have free will. It's a Friday and I can do whatever I want. Well, at least for finding the angles and the sides, you can do that. One more example. I have a triangle. Today's triangles all have 90 degrees. And I know that this is 14 and this is 17. Could I choose to find that hypotenuse? Sure could if I want. A squared plus b squared. I think that's what I'm going to do. 14 squared a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to use my calculator machine. Don't forget to hit the square root at the end of it. A squared plus b squared. And I'll approximate that. This calculator's doing weird.
485.
And now, hit the square root, and is it very close to 22.0? Don't forget the square root at the end.
Oh.
And what you can look at that is like 17, 14, and 400. No, that, square root, now it looks about right. Okay, well, I need to find one of the angles. You have free will. You can choose to pick either one of them. I'm picking this one because it's closer. I'm picking that one. Now, please be a little smart. Is 17 the exact answer?
Yeah.
Is 14 the exact answer? Was 22 rounded just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's best now to use the two that you knew were exact. That's the best thing to do. I'm picking this. This is far away up. This is adjacent. Hey, that's not going to take me long. In fact, I can find that angle at only takes a second. Second, tan, opposite over adjacent. 17 over 14, second tan.
0.5.
About 50.5 is a great choice. 180 degrees in that triangle. I'm guessing it's 39.5. Was there a movie Free Willy? About a free dolphin? A whale. And was it really like fun? Was it like our friend? Was Willie our friend? We liked Willie because Willie could talk to us. Okay. All right, I better stop this recording.